Hey guys, welcome back to Ignite Motorrad. This is the second video of our podcast Butts Off the Saddle, and today we're going to be talking about bike modification, specifically the modification KV and I have done to our Pulsar NS200 so far and are planning to do in the future.
And maybe we can also talk something about our future bikes and their modifications.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea as well. It is a podcast, talking is what we're supposed to do on it, so there will be some of that as well, definitely. Yeah. So let's start with your bike.
There isn't much.
We
obviously put photos of both of our bikes
on Instagram, YouTube, everywhere. Follow us, follow the channel, you'll be able to see what we've been doing to our bikes.
So, I think the only modification that have been done to my bike, indicators, brand new mirrors.
The flasher.
That is a modification.
If possible, I'm going to insert a flyby with the flasher. If you have that clip, I'm going to put it here somewhere. Put it somewhere. Amazing clip.
Actually, I was having fun with the flasher. I don't ride with the flasher obviously.
It looks very cool.
Actually looks very cool.
It looks cool in a sort of irresponsible way.
And plus the noise and everything. So I have that. Then a very recent modification which I haven't posted about anywhere yet.
You have?
It's my tank. It's just a
story. You put a story,
I still have to do a post.
So only your sort of core fan base knows about it.
Yeah, I don't have one.
Hopefully we will soon if you enjoy watching it.
So that was tank grips, and it is, I think, was important for me because whenever I went over a ride and we had our knee pads on, I knew I was scraping
the tank off.
So that was, one is that, and second is that I can grip the tank better even when I'm not wearing my knee guards or when I'm wearing them.
That's true.
Even in the city, just holding them on.
The tank has quite a slippery finish.
Yeah, so it actually helps a lot, and it helps my.
So even if you're just wearing like a track pant or jeans or anything, you can still grip it much better.
The weirdest thing is if you are actually going on a short trip, you're wearing shorts. I don't know if it's a sweat or something. It becomes super sticky.
It is sweat.
It is the stickiest thing ever.
I know you didn't come here to hear us talk about how much our thighs sweat, but it is what it is. So let's talk a little more about those grips. They're auto-lock grips.
Yeah, I got them from auto-lock. It was sort of an impulsive buy because I was finding grips.
He doesn't do much impulsively, so I'm very proud of him when he does.
It was not exactly because I had already looked at multiple.
What I did was impulsive. We'll come to that soon.
So I was just looking for them, browsing. I knew that there was one auto-lock one, but I had almost forgotten that.
Right.
It was again finding them, and then one day out of nowhere, as we do, I just searched for tank grips. Maybe I'll find one today. And then I did. So I went ahead and ordered it right away on that day. Went 2 days later, got them on the bike.
Awesome. I really like the grips for a very silly reason actually. I've told you this before. The bolt cut out in the hole, it just fits around the nail.
It's actually made very nicely, even the cutout and everything has been done.
They were slightly expensive for tank grips, or if you compare it with like generic tank grips, they're made better because they're made for that bike specifically.
No, the thing is, there's actually two types of things. There's tank pads, which is completely different because they're on the
front, which our bike actually has stock, which is great.
That is two things that I never had to do. Anyone has a Duke or something, they directly go for a tank pad and a tail tidy, which both of
the NS series comes as stock with, which is super
tail tidy, which is very, very.
I actually like the tail tidy.
So I never really wanted to change the tail tidy at all.
So, it looks good, but some people still prefer taking even that tail tidy of just getting that flap while
they just chop the existing tail tidy.
Just remove the whole thing off, like something that Aryan got on his R15, and you can fold the number plate in, but I never really got the point of that unless you want to carry out
the thing is, I understand that, looking at the bigger tire is helpful. But one, I keep my hugger on in rainy season, and the tire itself.
I actually have to do that. I think I'll do that later today.
So even the tire hugger is small. The tire is small. So anyway, the tire doesn't look that fat to have a tail tidy.
And the benefit that both of us have for that tail is we put our wire locks on that tail.
So I can even put a helmet on whenever I want. I don't have to carry it everywhere.
So if we go to a mall or something with friends, the other guys are carrying helmets around. But we have our wire locks sort of just strapped onto the tail.
Is this a modification? I consider this a modification. It does help my functionality a bit. I did this with my cycle as well, so
I don't know about that. I'm not so sure.
Yeah, but then and also I think I mentioned LED indicators, right?
Can you just summarize how much it cost for all these mods, like separately?
Okay, so my
starting with the indicators,
that was my first mod. That was around 2000.
Okay.
Then I got my.
Just to be clear, these are legit OEM KTM indicators. That's why they're so expensive.
Yeah, I haven't bought them from anywhere. There's no wire cutting. Everything fits in the stock sockets.
Yeah.
I try to keep my bike as stock as possible, which is
not something that can be said for me.
Yeah, I've tried to keep it as stock as possible. So that was one. That was $2,000.
Yeah.
Then tank grips, as I said, $1,200. I think with GST there was something about 1280.
1280, great grips though. They look super nice as well. They just gel with the overall pieces of the tank really nicely.
The main important thing is that actually made for the NS, so they actually fit the groove exactly like I want them to.
And the cutout.
Yeah, cutout. So that's there. And then I also did.
You did the headlight.
Yeah, I actually didn't mention that. That was a big one. The night eye. Just illuminates the shit out of the road.
Very bright, very bright. So I remember when you were sort of testing it out, we meet up for coffee at like 11 o'clock.
That was my first time actually showed in the night. I didn't tell you I was doing it.
Yes. So
and
you turned the light on and I was in front of you. I wasn't even facing your bike and the light in the mirror sort of hit me.
And the thing was that when I actually went and got it fitted, I didn't set the height of the beam exactly right.
Yeah.
So it was even more that.
Yeah. But on a highway, amazing light.
Dude, I mean the most weirdest and the most satisfying thing is you're going down the road at night.
Yeah.
There are those blue signboards, reflective ones.
You can just read
flash and
It's as if there's a backlight on them.
I think we did that when we went from Sid's house.
We did that. Yeah, that was very useful. Then another thing you forgot to mention is the wrap on your stock visor.
Oh yeah, I mean I don't consider it a mod.
Small thing, but I mean it's something that you've done aside from the stock bike, so why not?
Yeah, I mean it's not actually a wrap. It's home done, by the way.
Yeah.
I did at home myself. I just had a sheet of carbon fiber lying
just
around.
happened to be lying around.
No, I mean it was bought for a very stupid but very effective reason. But I won't mention that.
Okay.
It's a completely different story why I had that, and I had had that on. So I just put it on, and the weird thing was it was actually glossy when it came on, and I didn't know it was matte finish under. My bike actually, if you know, the fenders.
Oh no, I've never seen your bike. I have no idea what you're talking about.
The fenders have a carbon fiber.
They already do. So his generation of the NS, the one with the white wheels and the white frame, which now they've discontinued, which just makes your bike more exclusive.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that generation of the NS and even the new one with the now black wheels and black frame, they have a carbon fiber finish on the front and rear mudguard. And that's it, right?
That's it.
Yeah.
So the sheet that I put on was gloss. I thought it was gloss, but then it started scraping off.
Okay.
So I didn't know what it was, so I said, okay, I'll get this done properly somewhere else. So I tried to scrape it off, but it was
a film.
Okay. And then now it actually exactly matches my bike.
That's nice.
Which was very fortunate again.
Yeah, that's nice.
I actually don't remember my mods. I think you remember more of my mods.
I'm trying to remember if there's anything else. You've removed the sari guard and the...
That's not really a mod, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, it's more of a delete.
We hate it.
It adds weight, looks like crap, and I don't think anybody is going to sit on the back of either of our bikes wearing a sari anytime soon.
You can't.
You can't, you probably shouldn't even if you want to.
But I've seen people who ride NS125s and NS160s who have people where, I mean, that's a sort of
I mean, we're not saying it's wrong, but like, we wouldn't recommend it. Yeah, so keeping the sari guard on and, sitting on the back with a sari is not something we do, it's something some people do, so it might be useful for some people, but like, we don't personally feel the need for it, so we just took it off and shaved off some excess weight that it carries. Yeah, so I mean, I even don't like the hugger on, but it's really annoying to clean the bike in rainy season. It is. So now the rainy season is actually upcoming, it could rain anytime. That is why I actually put it on, because there's a forecast for rain. I didn't know if it... What's the date today? I don't even know, bro, what's the date? I think it's 6th. Okay, so it's projected for like tomorrow or the day after. I think rain is projected. I just checked it this morning. So I'm going to put my hugger on. I'm also going to put the front one. Wait, are you done with your... Okay, let's finish yours, then I'll do mine. I think that's done, right?
Yeah, I also put KTM mirrors on it.
Oh crap, you did do that.
500
You did do that.
rupees.
Yeah.
Those
you did do
560
that.
rupees, that is a very functional approach to it. I couldn't see when I wore my riding jacket, so I put them on. There's nothing.
Stock mirrors NS, they're good when you're not wearing a riding jacket in the city.
Yeah, in the
You
city,
won't- yeah, it's
never
fine.
was an issue, but on the rides it was. But that just sorted it out.
That's sorted out, yeah. And you've removed some of the graphics at the back.
There was just one sticker I remember.
I'm just
I hated
remembering
it.
everything.
Yeah. There was one little white stripe on the tail. Not on the tail.
It's like an arrow sort of thing, right?
Yeah, and I didn't like it, so
You took it off. Fair enough. Okay, well, let's talk about. Okay, should we cover my present mods first? Then
Yeah.
we can talk about both of our future mods.
Also, there's one or two mods coming today,
Oh crap.
which we are going.
Oh yeah, shit.
we are going to do
I
today.
remember. Yeah.
So we still don't know if we are doing it today because we called up the guy.
Oh yeah, fun fact. We called up the guy and his phone balance is so drastically empty. And by drastically empty, I mean even if you have zero balance, you can generally take incoming calls. His incoming calls are disabled, so we'll just have to go there and see if the shop is open.
And if it is open, it's not a mod, but yeah.
Some customization. Yeah.
So anyway, so your bike has been through a transformation.
Oh yes. So I think I'll go by the chronological order. So the first thing I did was knuckle guards, which is not as easy as it looks on an
And they
image.
also broke once.
They broke once, thanks for that. Thanks for that. So they broke once, I got them replaced by this exact same product.
And he has one extra.
I have a I don't know, actually, it's in that cupboard, but I
It
just
fell
can't-
this way, right?
It fell to the right. So I have
To the right.
Yeah, it fell to the right. So I have a left one.
Extra left
I have
one,
an
yeah.
extra left one, yeah. I'm selling that for 4,000 if anybody wants it, get in touch. Yeah, I'll autograph it for you. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, he'll autograph it as well. Yeah, we'll get the whole team to autograph it. Yeah. So knuckle guards, because the NS has clip-on handlebars, they're not as easy to attach as a single handlebar unit.
Yeah.
So you have to. There's basically.
Even if it's not like that, some clip-on handlebars are longer, but it's very short for
Yeah. So one thing I had to get done from the workshop is there are these internal metal rods inside the handlebars.
Please put up a photo of your knuckle guard.
Yeah, I'll put a photo up somewhere here. You'll be able to see it. Yeah. So I had to get those rods lengthened from the inside so that the end brackets of the knuckle guards actually had something to clamp onto. Some people use the cables. They clamp it onto the cables.
Put them on either the visor or the inside of the tank, right?
No, they use the brake cables. Some people. That's it. Like if there's actually some YouTube videos for that.
Okay.
I'm not gonna like pinpoint which YouTube videos, but you can. Some people literally put the end clamps on the wires, and I really wouldn't recommend that. Two reasons: hampers with the wire, obviously, and you have absolutely no rigidity. It just becomes really flimsy. So I'd say either use a single piece handlebar or do what I've done and get handlebar in extender rods. They're very
Or
cheap.
there's one more option actually, if you don't want an OEM looking, because why I say OEM, because the ones that you have, they're an exact copy of
The
KTM.
KTM,
They're not original, but they look
They
OEM.
look the same. They look the same.
You also have an option to put actually bark busters. They're expensive,
Yeah.
but I have seen them fit much more easily onto the bike.
They're aluminum. You can get bar busters replicas as well. Those are actually quite good as
And
well.
I've also seen people put on the new Dominar ones, which I don't agree look very nice.
They have that small transparent portion.
Yeah, and they're not exactly closed off.
They're the single-sided ones.
Single side. So you can have an option
Of that, yeah. So if you don't want to go through the trouble of attaching the inside part on a wire or getting rod extenders or changing your handlebar, just get the ones that are just attached on the outside. If you want a point of reference, the Royal Enfield Himalayan comes with those as stock.
I think
Yeah, so those, I think even if it's an accessory, those are the ones the company provides basically. So they're just attached at one end and they're pretty good. So you just have to find a good product that works for you.
But as you said, the clip-ons are like so small.
Yeah.
You can't even actually fit a switch. I had to move my
rod
towards the outside a
to
little.
create some space in between to accommodate.
So that's
switch.
how much the space is actually. You can't even fit a standard switch. I think you have two.
I have one on the left, one on the right.
I
Yeah.
only have one on the right.
You only have one on for the flasher.
Yeah, for the flasher.
Yeah. So yeah, the knuckle guards cost 1,000 rupees and
Let's just say it's 2,000.
Okay, so knuckle guards cost 2,000. I paid 2,000 because I had to buy them twice, and I also had to get the fitting done twice, which was around 450 for the fitting.
So are you talking about fitting costs as well?
Fine, twice that. So 2,900 I had to pay to get the stage at the knuckle guards are now. And one more thing, which you got the bolts at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So actually, that was the image I was telling you to
Yes,
put.
I will do that. So because they don't fit very well, I have to do a lot of jugaad to make sure they fit. So the way that these knuckle guards fit is that they don't leave enough space for the clutch lever to sort of go its entire.
Yeah, it used to, when you leave the clutch, it used to go and dump onto the.
Yeah, it smashes onto the inside too. So that wouldn't happen. I had to put like what 4 bolts and spacers in between the end of the handlebar and the end clamp of the knuckle guard, so that the clutch, the knuckle guards don't interfere with the clutch lever. It looks like shit, but it does the job.
Yeah.
And why have I done this, you may ask? Because I like the way the knuckle guards look. It's pretty simple. And wind protection and front impact protection, that's there, but I don't know how much front impact protection I'm gonna get from that grade of plastic. I mean,
you've seen it break off.
I've seen it break off, but I did fall twice after that and they didn't break.
Okay, yeah.
They didn't break.
Yeah,
on the highway I fell a few days ago and the knuckle guard got pretty severely grazed on the side, but it protected the lever, so it did its job basically.
So yeah, it did its main requirement.
Yeah, it's broken before, but this time it didn't break.
Okay.
Touch wood, hope that doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
So that's knuckle guards covered.
Second, I think, was your visor.
Visor, yeah, universal visor, very cheap, cost 350 rupees. That's actually shattered from the inside.
You can't see that.
You can't see
It's
that.
a very good job.
Yeah, I'll tell you exactly what I did with that. So I got a universal visor for 350 rupees, got it force fitted onto the bike because it's not for the Pulsar. You can see it on what? Honda Dios and pretty much anything.
I've seen it on Vespas.
I've seen it, yeah. What?
Yeah, I've seen it on Vespa. I'm not kidding. I've seen it on
I haven't
Vespa.
seen it on a Vespa, that's
And-
something I haven't seen.
And it's pretty tall. So
It's quite tall, yeah.
he had mounted in a slanted angle. It was covering half of his headlight. The bottom part, which is the V.
If this is you, we'd like you to join us as a guest on the podcast. Please get in touch.
I'd love to review your scooter.
Yeah, we enjoy your contribution to the automotive culture in India.
I mean, you are the reason why I'm sitting here making
Yeah,
videos.
you are our inspiration to start the channel. I have a
Okay,
photo
okay.
frame.
What did you do with the visor basically?
Yeah, so it got broken because of the force fitting and that over tightening of the
Yeah.
bolts. It shattered and didn't want to buy a new visor.
Yeah, obviously.
I just wrapped it. Yeah, I got it
Black.
Yeah, very cheap wrap. Again, 350 rupees.
I guess vision over beauty, right?
I'm not gonna tuck down anyways. So yeah, and by the way, even if I do tuck down, I can still like keep my head thoda sa over the visor and like see on over it. So that kind of works. So yeah, visor wrap total 700 rupees, very cheap.
Okay.
Yeah. What else? Indicators. I got those too.
Yeah.
So these are completely aftermarket indicators. They have daytime lights integrated in the top, and the bottom part
Which
is
have
indicator.
a separate switch bar.
They have a separate switch, yeah, and they're hollow in between, so you can stick your finger in between them. Yeah, so they do that. And the daytime lights, I don't know, I felt a bit conspicuous with them, I don't know why, so I just got a separate switch for those. I don't have hazards or a flasher, but I would like one because of your story. It looks. Let's play it again. Yeah. Headlight, I haven't done anything yet.
I think you're looking for one, right?
Yeah, we'll get to that. Future.
Yeah, but the reason, I think you should explain the reason why you got them.
Oh yeah, I got auxiliary lights. Yeah, I got auxiliary lights also. Let's just do the cost first. The indicators, all 4 of them in total cost 1,000 rupees.
Okay, mine.
Including fitting and everything. Like.
Mine cost 2,000 plus fitting was I think 2.
Yeah, so that's the difference between OEM and.
But yeah, I mean,
he likes those like this. Yeah, we do. We would if I didn't know him and if he didn't know me, we would
probably shit on each other.
Yeah. We're not so, but we don't feel the need to do that anymore. Yeah, fortunately.
Grown
Yeah. I have a few Nerf guns if you want. Like, yeah. Okay, so that's the indicators and auxiliary lights. I got very cheap. Again, 1,000 rupees.
Yeah.
Both of them.
But they are not fog lamps.
They're just lights.
Yeah.
They're better than the headlight, but they're
definitely.
not as better than the stock halogen headlight that the NS comes with. But they're not nearly as good as how auxiliaries can be if you're a little more generous with the wallet.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So.
But there is also to the fact that your objective was to get a better road view. I think you get
that worked. Yeah. So objective fulfilled definitely, but I will be upgrading those to maybe next year. I don't know.
Bajaj?
No, HJC. HJG. Sorry,
Yeah.
HJC makes helmets.
My friend actually, he has a LS135. He got a Edge AG fitted the day I got my night eye fitted.
Oh sweet, nice. So what's brighter?
Obviously the night eye.
Really?
I'm not even kidding actually.
What if I put both on at the same time?
Yeah, you can see the difference clearly.
No, like what if I put both on the same bike?
Then I actually don't know because the reflector does make a difference. My night eye we tested day before yesterday is brighter than the stock 390's headlight.
Oh crap!
Me and Sid were just comparing when we were washing our bikes. The throw is absolutely insane because you can see at least to the second floor.
Yeah, Sid. Sid and his loud exhaust fines.
Oh, it's gone now.
Oh crap, he got it. Yeah, but yeah, Sid, yeah. Sid, yeah. Okay, so auxiliary is done. What else? A dirt fender. I have a dirt fender on the front of the headlight.
That is sort of your latest modification.
One of the latest. Okay, no, we're going by chronological. I don't remember what else have I done. I've got 3 mobile holders, broke all 3 of them.
Yeah. Quite spectacularly. One of them was
broken by a showroom. I still by a service center. I'm pretty sure it was broken by a service center because let's not get into that too much. What else?
I think your next modification.
I think it was the fender.
Yeah, that was that.
I
took a very long break from modification.
I didn't do anything for quite a while. Yeah. And we talked about the fender, and the next day I just went and did it.
Yeah, see, impulsive.
Yeah, I'm very.
I love his modifications.
Yeah, I love it though. I wouldn't have it any other way. Yeah. So there's a dirt fender at the front. Deleted the stock mudguard, so it has a sort of supermoto look at the front.
But I think you're putting it back.
I'm putting it back because the rains are coming. If I don't put it back, the water will go into the radiator.
Yeah.
Which is no.
Even not even the radiator. I think the mud and the dirt that will pick up
it will clog up the whole thing, and that will be ridiculously expensive to repair. Even if it's a Bajaj, so you can see how much damage it could potentially.
Oh, by the way, this also includes a modification that you didn't mention because you had to put the fender on.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's your number plate that you changed.
Because
you had no place to put the fender.
So the stock number plate is it's on the bottom of the headlight.
Yeah.
So I put it on the top of the headlight on the visor. Now I had to actually go through a lot of shit to do that because the guys at the workshop didn't understand what I wanted. You know what they did? They took the Patra number plate and they bent it across the curvature of the visor.
I've seen that on have you seen that?
I've seen it on super bikes, bro. I've seen it on super bikes. Like on Z900s, I've seen people.
Have you seen the Dominant 400s? They generally have it around there.
It looks so shit, bro.
I don't understand why you need to bend your number plate to your visor.
And the thing is, I really wish that sometimes the workshop guys would just use some intellect and figure out what would look best rather than what is the easiest.
But I don't think it's about easiest. I think it is about mentality. They've seen this shit for such a long time. Everyone is like bend it. Have you seen R15s?
I have.
All with bend.
It looks so shit, bro. It looks so shit.
And that is the bike that has the number plate stock
on the top. Yeah.
And then they go and bend it around.
Now that's just stupid. What the hell?
It's aerodynamics. It basically adds about 10 kilometers of top speed. I'm pretty sure. You should try it on your bike.
And the VR46 that people put on around that adds another 10.
I think 50.
50 actually, I'm sorry. So
that's not.
If you have an R15, bend the number plate and preferably give it red accents, write the doctor on the side, put a tail tidy on the back.
It's going a little too obvious.
It's sold, nobody cares anymore.
That is why, I mean, the person is.
Do you want to do a separate podcast about Aryan's Benelli?
Done. Let's do it.
Yeah. So
coming soon to the chat.
Coming soon. Okay, so let's quickly getting back on track. A dirt fender got the number plate moved upwards, got a bracket for the number plate.
How much did all of that cost?
The fender was 700 rupees. The plate relocation was another 100, I think. And just doing everything, including labor and bolts and all that, I think 1,000 rupees.
Okay. So that fender is slightly larger for the bike, right?
Yeah, so if you look at the front, you can see that the edges of the fender don't actually attach onto the bottom of the headlight. Yeah. Looks a little bit weird, but it was the cost-effective option.
Again, if you have money, then I'd strictly say go for the Autolog.
Yeah, the Autolog one looks fantastic because again it's made for the bike like his tank grips, and it'll fit snugly, like it fits basically.
But the reason I think you didn't buy it is because you wanted the look and not the exact functionality of it.
No, I don't give a crap about functionality.
Yeah, that's the difference between us.
Yeah, so I mean, in this regard, range obviously I'm putting everything back on. Yeah. So it's too expensive, man. It's like 3,500 rupees.
Yeah.
Auto, it's a good product, but I just don't think it's worth it for me. Doesn't make sense for me right now. Yeah, so let's get on to my biggest and most blatantly obvious mod, which is the wrap.
Yeah, now he's known as the wrapped NS dude in whoever I'm talking to.
I like that.
Yeah, he's like...
I guess you said crazy NS dude a few days ago.
Yeah,
I prefer that.
I think I put that name more than someone else did. I'm sorry, but...
Thanks.
Anyway, so yeah, how
piece of shit, yeah.
How did you get it?
I'll tell you how I did. It's very cheaply done. Entire thing cost 5,000 rupees.
It's not actually cheap for a wrap, if I'm being entirely honest.
No, but like if you see the quality, you'll kinda get it. But I think it was a bloody good bargain.
I never thought the quality was...
I'll show you. I'll show you. Yeah.
But yeah, every time I saw it, I mean, yeah, there have been some corners that have been cut.
That's all. Yeah.
But
the actual wrap material is brilliant.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll tell you how I did it. Okay, so it's not a run of the mill color change or just like plain graphics or VR46 or whatever. So I just found
You just had to.
I had to, yeah. So I found a fluid art on the internet which I really liked. All kinds of pink, blue, green, red, white, everything. Like it was a mess, okay?
Yeah.
I would have liked to use that as it is, but the thing is, most of my bike is still red. And which means it's legal.
Yeah, and the thing with wraps is actually a grey area.
It is a grey area, yeah.
You don't know if you are allowed to wrap and say that my bike underneath is still red.
Yes. So I just thought the safest option was keep the majority of the exterior a shade of red. It's not the same shade, but it's red.
Yeah, this is what we have, at least this is to our knowledge, the best route to go is that you stick to the color that you have in a motorcycle, or else the best thing is to just get it changed. But that is too big of a...
Or you have to go to the RTO, get approval, get a signed letter. So that is if you want to change the color. So if you have a black bike and want to make it yellow,
that actually makes sense when you're actually trying to repaint it. Because even if you're doing a wrap and let's say they fine you for the changed color, it's not going to cost you as much.
Yeah. That one. So repaint where you change the entire thing, you
should do it.
It's a bit of more procedure, but if that's what you want, you should definitely do it the legal way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, that's the wrap I did. So I found the image, and I'm very good with digital softwares. I'm a design student, so I didn't want all those colors. So first I put it into Adobe Illustrator, vectorized the whole thing. So it gives it an infinite resolution basically.
Yeah,
there is no limit on how much you can zoom it. Why did I do that? Because the stock image was blurry as shit, okay?
Yeah.
So if you stretch that out and get it printed, the wrap would also be pixelated, which would be so horrible.
Yeah, actually.
You don't want a pixelated wrap. Oh man, that would be so terrible. So I vectorized it, and there's a feature on the vectorization tool on Illustrator where you can restrict the number of colors present in the final output.
Right.
So I put 3.
Okay.
So you can see white, black and red as the only colors on the wrap, okay? And the other colors sort of blend into those.
Okay.
So you will never be able to tell that the stock file was multicolored if I didn't tell you it was.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Exactly. So then after that I put it into Photoshop, and then I just changed the fundamental flow a little bit in some places where I didn't like it.
Okay.
Got the file, put it in a pen drive, went to my wrap dude. He got it printed as a laminated vinyl. You can get a regular vinyl and a laminated vinyl. Laminated is the better route to go because it protects it from like heat damage, sun damage, and it's completely
won't fade away. The color won't fade away.
I mean, I hope it won't fade away. And mostly it's completely waterproof. So I've jet washed it twice now, but on slightly lower pressure settings.
Okay, so do you ask that for to be done at a lower pressure?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've done that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the wrap out of the way. I did the tank, I did the rear portion, and I did the small headlight shrouds at the front as well.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, that's the mods I've done so far.
It actually looks super clean.
Oh, mirrors. Right? Sorry. So yeah, you can. Yeah, I'm all for praise here.
Yeah. It actually looks really super.
It looks quite good. It looks quite good for the price. It's quite decent.
Yeah.
Because
and mirrors actually.
Mirrors, mine. I again had the same problem. We both had the same problem. We ride together quite frequently, so we discuss the common issues that our bikes have.
We are also going to make a review video about the NS200
in general.
Yeah, in general.
That should be. I don't mean to sound overconfident, but that will be the most detailed review of this bike you will ever see. So stay tuned for that.
There's two opinions. We have actually had problems. We have praises for
We've
it.
replaced entire internal components. There's a lot of stuff we want to tell you. Subscribe, you really don't want to miss that.
Yeah, and if you're actually thinking about getting an NS200 right now when there's an N250 in the market, I think you should follow this because we have a story to tell you.
And we have a comparo between these two coming as well.
Yeah, that as
So
well.
subscribe, yeah. Subscribe!
To our channel.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That wasn't necessary. Yeah, so did the wrap, and I put Pulsar 150 mirrors. The old Pulsar, they don't look great, but the visibility is great, much better than the NS.
Actually, offered him to give him my old ones because the only thing was I was anyway going to
replace them. But I thought I might as well try something new.
Yeah, exactly. And plus he had sort of an emergency, and I wasn't in an emergency to buy mirrors.
So
actually
it was
got
one
them
of
2 weeks later.
Right. So I got mine, you got mine, you are slightly later.
Yeah.
So that's what we've done so far to our bikes. So
and I don't think it's going to stop a lot.
It's never going to stop.
Yeah,
it's never going to
stop. His bike is definitely not stopping.
My mom asked me this morning actually, when I'm planning on getting a luggage rack and saddle stays. He's like, okay, after you get this, after you get a top box, it's done, right? Like, mom, it's never done. He's like, no, but there must be a point that comes, like, for example, let's take your room. I've added posters here, I've painted the cupboards. It's done, you can't do it. I'm like, it's not how it works with bikes, so it'll never stop realistically.
Anyway, so getting on that, what are you going to do? At least what is planned for now?
Well, I'll just talk about like what realistic mods. Like I could say I'm getting a Powertronic. I'm not doing that anytime soon. So
why not?
No, it's too expensive. Doesn't make sense, right?
Okay.
Okay, if we're talking about like what I would like to do, then
let's just stick to
let's be realistic. Let's be realistic. What I'm immediately getting right now, I'm saving up for is a luggage rack and saddle stay combination from Hyper Rider. I'm saving.
I think you're getting it slightly cheaper because you're buying.
It's a combo. It's a combo. Yeah. So when you buy both of it, including shipping to Maharashtra, it's 4,000 rupees, which I think is quite good for both. And the maximum load on the back is 80 kilograms, which is more than some of the thinner metal racks from Banditos, for example.
But they also have to be mounted to the. I think you will have to remove the existing
grab rails.
Yeah. Okay.
It uses the same mounting points.
Right.
Which is part of what makes it such a clean installation.
Yeah, definitely.
So that I'm gonna get a top box, ASG, SG45 or 32, whichever one. If the smaller one fits a laptop, I'll get that. If it doesn't, I'll get the bigger one because I want to use it for college.
You mean that you will have that stuck on forever? It's not a going on for a trip thing. At least the
it's a one button release. If you push it, it comes off.
Yeah, but okay. So most of the times you won't have it here.
So if we're, for example, if we're going to Lavasa, I'll take it off.
Right.
Because it ruins the weight distribution of the bike completely, and I want to hit corners without the fear of falling over because I have a bloody
tail heavy bike.
Exactly, I don't want that. So I'll keep it at home and take a backpack in that.
Yeah.
If I'm going on a long ride, which is primarily long highways, I'll leave it on.
Yeah.
College, I'll leave it on.
This makes a difference as you said in corners because that our bike is slightly leans towards the front and is slightly front heavy. So if you disbalance the weight, the front tire slightly loses grip.
And the main thing is the top box is positioned behind the tail of the bike.
Yeah, so the center of gravity
is shifted to the back. Exactly. So hitting the corners, aggressive riding, a top box is not what you want.
Yeah.
So that will stay at home whenever, or even I go to Thursday to hit the. We should do that later, by the way.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So during that, I'll leave the top box off. So that the box will cost 6k. This will cost 4k, 10k overall. One of the more expensive things I've done on my bike.
Yeah. Okay.
So aside that, what else? Crash guard again. Hyper Rider crash guard.
That is a point on the list that has just been pushed down.
No, but the thing is, the one I was going to get previously weighed like 9 kgs.
Okay, that's a lot of weight on the bike.
And it's huge. I'll put a picture of it here. It's a Luvia crash guard. It's a good product, but it makes more sense for bikes with more power.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
24.5 horsepower is good for our class, but if you keep adding weight, I know the luggage rack. I
mean, a prime example I think is the Dominar. You put a 400cc engine in it, the 400 Dominar. It is a superb motorcycle.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as you put the 250 motor in it, just slumps. Yeah, you absolutely notice the slump because the weight is same, the power is reduced. You just feel it.
You feel it immediately. Yeah. So I want to get a crash guard for my bike. I'll get a Hyper Rider one. I was going to get a Luvia one. Canned that.
Yeah.
And new fog lights. HJG. Yeah. To go on the crash guard. So the crash guard I've looked at actually has those It has 2 frame sliders per side, and it has another horizontal bar mount for fog lights.
Okay, yeah.
So I quite like that. One cost 4.5
But I
grand.
think you said that you'll probably put a night on before that, right?
Yeah, but it both. Yeah,
Might as well get.
might as well. Yeah. So the HJGs, if I get, I'll get the ones which have a yellow filter.
Yeah.
So yellow, why yellow is important is because yellow light can sort of breach fog and other impurities which white can't, and that has to do with the wavelength of the color.
Yeah, anywhere you are going into a foggy area or a rain depth area where there's a lot of rain happening, it's best if you get a yellow light on, which is not exactly what I'm doing. So I'm sort of at a disadvantage because
we don't go in those scenarios very often.
yeah,
so
and I think when I said if there is a day that I actually will go, I'll probably put a yellow tint on.
I offered to color his headlight with a yellow Sharpie, he didn't agree.
Yeah, because I don't want to be permanent. That's the only reason I'm putting a tint on.
But you'll always take it off with acetone, but then your entire headlight will become foggy.
Yeah. So it's like it's bouncing inside.
Yeah. So it'll be very bright just inside the headlight. So that's pretty much what I have planned. So the storage at the back, crash guard, fog lights, night eye headlight.
Yeah.
I don't think I have anything immediately in terms of appearance and like cosmetic mods. This is what I have planned for the immediate future. As and when I save up, I'll get it one by one, and you'll see it on YouTube definitely.
Yeah. I think with my modifications, I am not doing a lot of it,
But you don't say.
I'm not planning to do anything. I'm actually saving up money for boots right now.
So you are? Shit, nice.
So
nice,
my
nice.
concern currently is not modifying my motorcycle.
That's why I got boots first,
Yeah, so now
Same
I'm
here.
planning to get a pair of boots, maybe pants, and then look at the bike again.
Yeah, so I'm slightly ahead of him right now because my bike came before his bike.
And also that he has a craze for mods, which I bought before.
I like changing my motorcycle a lot.
Yeah. So that's the only difference I think. But yeah, I have some things coming up. Performance or engine.
Performance mod is going to be a separate podcast.
Yeah, which we'll maybe be shooting today.
We'll shoot it today. Yeah, we'll shoot it today. We'll eat something and shoot it.
Yeah. So that's definitely coming, and I think I will cover more of my modifications there. And this is, I think, particularly we're talking about the NS and not all the motorcycles because we don't really have experience about them.
Yeah, so we're speaking for these bikes. We have experience with them. We know what's going on in them. So
and
we give you accurate info.
Yeah, we've researched a lot what has to be done to get a certain kind of outcome from it. So that is what we're going to be speaking
For
about.
sure, for sure.
And some of them are actually very common for us, and they're not exactly modifications because it's sort of an upgrade rather than modification.
I agree.
Like
I agree,
something like a coolant or an engine oil. But yeah, it's still there and it makes a difference. So
it definitely makes a difference, and knowing about it, researching about it, you can maximize your machine better than the stock tune of it.
Yeah.
So why would you not do that, right?
I mean, we have always known that brands do a little cost cutting to keep the bikes
the
MRP
base price of the bike in check.
Yeah. So that is why they do cut corners. Just like the indicators I said, the indicators that I have, they come stock on the RS200, which is basically the NS200 fed. So those small changes
like 0.2 Newton meter extra torque, but that doesn't really matter.
Yeah, but it does have a big fairing.
It does have a huge fairing.
It has weight on, but yeah, it gets better top speed.
Good bike.
It's very good.
Great bike, yeah.
Because it's still an NS200.
Let's not divert. Yeah. We could go on forever.
Anyway, so I think this is the.
That's it. No visual mods you have coming except graphics.
Yeah, there's small graphic mods, but I think I am.
You wanted a short visor at some point.
That's what I still am quite contemplating because I don't. As I said, my mods are sort of functional, so I don't want to mess up the stock visors placement and everything right now. So I'm not really sure, but there might be a couple of surprises.
Yeah. Because you see it here. If you subscribe.
Yeah, the Autolook was a subscribe. Autolook wasn't a subscribe. I mean, it was a surprise.
It was a surprise, yeah.
So something might come soon, which I have been thinking about, but I haven't mentioned it again. So yeah, there might be a mod coming soon to the way. More to see on this channel.
Okay, so subscribe if you liked it. Leave us a comment what you think about this podcast, if you enjoyed it, any topics you'd like us to cover in the future.
If you have any recommendations for modifications from your side, or you know something that will do a better job for us, do let us know.
Let us know, yeah. And if you want to talk to either of us in person, both of our Instagrams are on screen now, so hit us up if you want to talk to us about absolutely anything. Stay tuned for the next podcast. This is Birds of the Saddle. I'm Devashish, this is Kshiteesh. See you in the next one and subscribe.
Peace.